and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucci, joined by my broadcast partner, The Boy.
Hey.
And this is the Two Nerds Podcast. Before we dig into things, let me remind you, as usual, to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, share, reblog, revine, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, LiveJournal, Friendster.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Get us on to get our career started, I
Sure,
suppose that's what this is,
I guess.
Also, super special double happy thanks to Super Blizzard for his Shining Wasato track, Let's Get Hardcore. That's our theme music. You should go to his Bandcamp page, where we link in the description. Buy up all of his music, make him rich and famous, so that maybe he's like, oh hey, those Two Nerds guys got me $1 million. Maybe I could give them, I don't know, 5. We have a pay-per-view to talk about. WWE Battleground. Greatest pay-per-view of all time.
He's joking. Let me just sum up, if you're only here for the very quick summation of the pay-per-view, here it is. Great matches. Lousy fucking finishes. But best to run them down one by one, because that's what we do.
We missed the pre-show because either Time Warner Cable or the WWE Network are pooping the bed. I don't know what the deal is. I don't see any other complaints about the network.
So
this strong anyway, is that we had to deal with.
It might be that it's the Xbox client.
It might be. Xbox Live has been acting kind of funny lately on the One. Maybe next time we should try to watch it on the 360.
Maybe it'll behave itself a little better.
That's generally how I feel about the pay-per-view. Also clears my throat.
Yeah, it's fairly accurate. All right.
The pre-show was, we missed that.
But quick rundown, Adam Rose apparently beat Fandango.
Yay.
Can this fucking Summer Rae gimmick just end, please? It is interminable. I said this exact same sentence last pay-per-view and it's still not over. Anyway, Cameron defeated Naomi.
2 cats, no.
He's being attacked.
We're talking about wrestling, stop!
He's being attacked by cats. Cameron defeated Naomi. Is Cameron the face or the heel? I don't know.
Yeah, let's find out.
I can never remember which funk the back was which.
Wikipedia.
Cameron is the heel. So Cameron beat the heel beat the face. The only fucking time that happened tonight.
Yep. I don't know. I like them as wrestlers. I'm kind of sad we missed that match. They
put
on a really good show last Raw.
I'm actually kind of sad that I missed it.
Not last Raw, the Raw before.
Yeah, because we missed last Raw. Because again, Time Warner Cable was poop.
Our DVR just needs replaced. It's just old as fuck.
Yeah, and we're almost out of stuff that we have saved on it. Maybe we should just play the
I just need to call them. I don't want to. So yeah, we started the pay-per-view with the tag team match, which was a good match.
It was a really good match. It had great moments. There was a lot of back and forth. It was sold really well. Everybody was on point.
If you only care about the athletics, the presentation of two guys pretend fighting.
Yeah, if all you're here for is the matches, if you're a TNA fan, because I gotta figure that's what TNA fans are there for. They can't be there for the storylines.
This is a great pay-per-view.
Yeah, seriously.
Solid.
B.
A minus.
A minus, yeah. If all you care about is the quality of the match, A minus, B plus, somewhere in there. Dividing line depending on how much you like a couple of the matches which are shorter and how mad you are about some stuff that happens later where you don't get to see wrestling. If you care about the storylines at all, this thing starts just dropping letter grades fast the further in you get.
The end result of the 2 out of 3 falls was the Usos took it, which, at this point, why?
Yeah, at this point.
If you were going to keep this feud going. Okay, now, and I have some reservations about this. I said at the end of a couple pay-per-views ago that I felt really bad for the Usos. They were a sinking ship now that the weight of John Cena is tied to them, or vice versa, really. No, they're building them up. I don't quite get why they need to build them up on the Wyatts.
Yeah, why they have to crush the Wyatt family to build them up?
Well, and to be fair, on TV they keep getting wins.
Yeah, but, if you can't close the deal, eventually you run out of steam.
Well, and that's the other thing, is all they do is keep fighting. That's not how you book a feud.
There's no escalation there. There's no reason for them to keep fighting. It's just never ending for some reason.
And nothing changes. I mean, if they were battling back and forth over the title,
yeah,
that'd
like,
be different.
If the Wyatts had won the titles last pay-per-view and then the Usos took it in 2 out of 3 fall match this time, that's a good gimmick. They can just keep fighting as long as the titles trade back and forth. There's no reason for them to keep fighting if the Wyatts keep losing.
And this is going to be kind of a running thing with this pay-per-view, but here's why this finish sucks.
Ooh, I like this segment.
Yeah, and because I have specific reasons for basically every instance of why this finish sucks for every match, except one.
Yeah, one finish was fine.
This finish sucks primarily because the Wyatts haven't been able to close the deal. Secondarily, because in a perfect world, the Usos would now move on to challenge Stardust.
Yeah.
And Goldust.
And maybe lose there.
Or win there, whatever. Let them be a dominant tag team. I don't give a fuck, but move on.
But they're not going to do that.
Yeah, no.
They're
The
obviously...
WWE has invested me no faith. They have, in fact, lost a lot of my faith in the last few months because of the back-ass-words bullshit way they have acted since Daniel Bryan got injured.
They have just, at this point, you shouldn't still be panicking. You shouldn't still be locked in eternal faces win every match, nothing important ever changes, John Cena wins everything, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't be stuck in that still. I recognize that's your safety zone. That's your panic mode. That's where your safety blanket is. You hold it in your Linus. Stop it. It's been months. He's not going to be back for months. You can't put the entire Federation on hold until his bearded ass gets off injury.
If he ever does.
Yeah, if he ever does. It's a neck injury. He might never be back. You can't put the Federation on hold. Fucking groom some new talent. Let some things change. For the love of God.
And I would say that they are, but you can't tell. Like, we thought Cesaro was going to be, the next groomed talent. And as amazing as I thought it was, he's eliminated in the Battle Royal by Heath Slater.
Yeah, we'll get to the Battle Royal.
In general, but, that was, out of nowhere, and I was kind of happy for Heath.
Yeah, it is.
I theorized that he killed the other two members of 3MB and absorbed their power in some sort of exponential way.
Because if it was just additive, it wouldn't be enough power to eliminate Cesaro. Because let's face it, all 3 members of 3MB together couldn't have eliminated Cesaro. It has to be like the quickening from Highlander. It has to give him exponentially more power for each of the other members of the MB he destroys.
I would like that if that became Heath Slater's gimmick. He's the Kurgan.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty tight.
Like, he starts off all weak and shitty and beats people and then absorbs their power and starts doing
But
their
then,
moves.
after a year of build-up, the wrestler Kurgan shows up and is like, I have some umbrage with your gimmick. I miss Kurgan.
And then he defeats him and takes all his power.
And then Kurgan, of all fucking people, wins the combined World Heavyweight WWE WW Championship.
Fucking merge those belts already, by the way. They need to turn it into one belt. 2 belts look stupid, and it makes me think you're going to split it up. Every pay-per-view, I think you're going to split it up because why would you keep 2 belts otherwise? It looks dumb. I recognize that in boxing and other things, having a bunch of belts means you're really, really good, and you've won all these different tournaments. In wrestling, it's
Somewhere
just...
Ultimo Dragon's teeth are grinding.
Right? In wrestling, it looks stupid.
Well, especially if you only wrestled one match for those 2 belts.
Yeah, if you, you know what, if this was like the Intercontinental that they had and the U.S. title, or if it was the World title, the Intercontinental title, and one of the tag team belts, yeah, walk out covering all 3 belts. That's 3 different calibers of championship, and you won 3 separate matches. 1 match for 2 belts is dumb. It's dumb. But anyway.
Next match, Boy Gets to Bed You Out Some More, was Paige versus AJ Lee for the Divas Championship.
This is a weird fucking match. I mean, of all the finishes, it's the one I'm least mad about.
It was okay.
It was a good match. Again.
It's different. Whatever. Whoever won this match, fine.
Yeah,
I like this feud. I like what they're brewing.
It was a weird build for the feud. Throughout the match, Paige was yelling at AJ for not doing better. Come on, get your shit together. Fight me.
Yeah, they're going with this whole, friendly competition angle, and I like it. WWE is always so scared to do face versus face or face versus heel. Like, they think the crowd doesn't have favorites beyond who wears the white hat and who wears the black one.
You mean heel versus heel. You said face versus face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did mean heel versus heel. You're right. But they're embracing it in a lower card sense. I guess probably testing it out to see if it actually works. And I don't know. Maybe we'll get something interesting out of it at some point. But
it was a good match. The finish was decent. I don't mind it, so long as they don't end it here. And
yeah,
obviously,
this is one of the feuds
not
that
going
needs to go on.
They're obviously not going to. This one is going to continue. And that's fine. This is probably the match on the card that I am the fondest of leaving it because it was a good match and the finish didn't make me mad. So it doesn't get a negative qualifier for shitty finish. So, weirdly, it's like my favorite match on the card.
It's my second favorite, I think.
I just, you know what? The next one's good too.
I don't know. They were both good matches. Anyway, you have a specific complaint, I believe.
About this match? About the Divas match?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. Did I say something during the match?
No. Well, beforehand, before we started recording, actually, you were talking about,
oh, yeah, no.
Our dearly departed.
Okay, listen. This is not to you, viewer. Ultimo Dragon, I know you're a good man. You wouldn't do this. This is to all of the many WWE fans I'm sure you invite over to your house. Stop fucking chanting for CM Punk. He's gone. He left. He quit. Stop it. I'm tired of hearing it. It makes me want AJ to lose because I'm tired of hearing it around her, which means if she loses, she'll go away, so the fucking chant will stop around her at least. Phil quit. Phil's done. Phil's a quitter. Stop cheering for him.
It says the guy who likes heel wrestlers.
If he stayed and went heel, that's a different thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's a quitter. That's different.
Boys Rage aside, being CM Punk's probably one of my top favorite wrestlers of all time.
He was one of mine before he bitched out.
He had his reasons, and that's.
And you know what? I'm sure he did. And I'm sure in his mind there were good reasons. They might even be legitimately good reasons. I don't really care. You had time left on your contract. Do your job.
I don't. This conversation hinges on so many hypotheticals that I don't feel comfortable getting into it in front of the listener.
That's fair. I do
because you don't care. You like to be loud and right.
Yeah.
I don't. I would like to be quiet and correct. But as someone who likes CM Punk and has not been bothered by the CM Punk chants until now, he's officially retired from wrestling. He's not doing it anymore. This last week, he announced, in not so many words, but he announced that he's not renewing his contract, that he's done. I'm sure he'll come back and make an appearance someday after the bad blood has stopped boiling, but it's not going to be anything big.
After the peak of his career, when he can't really put on a decent match anymore, he'll Bret Hart eventually, but...
Yeah, they all do. I mean, fame's a tasty bitch, but don't cheer for him anymore. It's not. He's not coming back. It's not even like maybe he will. No, he's not gonna. He's not. I don't even think he watches the show, so your cheers are falling on deaf ears. He goes and watches fucking hockey and MMA. He's moved on with his life. You probably should too. He's doing charity work now, and good for him. I hope he enjoys hockey. I hope he enjoys MMA on a personal level. I think Phil's kind of a prick from all I've seen of him on a personal level, but I ain't got nothing against the guy. I'm kind of a prick. You guys are different pricks. Yeah, we're different kinds of pricks. I appreciate both of you, but I digress. I mean, that's, it's a point that needed to be made. It's something that needed to be said. I know we have kind of a meager viewing audience, but guys, just give it a rest. I mean, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. If it were some sort of legendary chant, like the what chant or whatever, or if there was still a chance. Yeah, if there was even still a sliver of hope, I would still be tired of it. I mean, cheer for fucking Daniel Bryan, Yeah, cheer for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wants to come back. Daniel Bryan wants to be there. He physically can't. That's a different thing. Cheer for Wade Barrett. Cheer for Santino. Don't cheer for Santino. Don't cheer for fucking Santino. Appreciate his body of work. And Santino had a good career. I remember back the beautiful days when he was a heel. Remember the honkometer? Yeah. Genius. Remember when he was with Beth Phoenix? Yeah. I miss Beth Phoenix. So do I. Next match was good. Jack Swagger with Rusev. With Rusev, against Rusev.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Jack Swagger put on a match with Rusev.
Yes, that's true.
And it was a good match, too.
Yeah, good promos beforehand.
Good promos beforehand. It was all Swagger. Like, he dominated the match. That was the story of the match.
And one of the coolest count-out victories I've seen.
Yeah, like, Swagger had Rusev in the Patriot Lock out on the ringside. Rusev started, like, climbing up the steps with his hands, and then he did the flip reversal you do for an ankle lock, and Jack Swagger beamed his head on the post, and Rusev slid in the ring and got it at 9 and got a count-out victory.
That sounds kind of lame, but like the way we're describing it here, but I mean the build-up was really great. I mean they were out there for a long time just fighting, and then Jack's got this ankle lock in and he won't let it go, and it's like 6 or 7 when
the beating happens.
Yeah. And you're like, what's going to happen? I mean, and this is such a face thing to do that I'm surprised they gave it to Rusev, to miraculously save the match. Because it wasn't necessarily a coward thing. You look me in the fucking eye and tell me even at his faciest John Cena wouldn't be like, shit, I better get back in the ring.
Yeah, of course.
He's not going to stand out. There was some Twitter outrage that was like, he didn't finish the match the right way. What a coward. No, that's
Cena
what
was
you
done
do.
Exactly the same thing.
Which John Cena's an outlier. Let's use someone who's a real face. Kofi Kingston would have done actually the same thing.
The exact same thing, and he would have cheered afterward and danced, and it would have been right to. It was a really face finish.
Yeah, it was.
This was after Rusev had been in a submission hold for a long time.
Yeah, this was the second time. I mean, the build was really interesting.
Like, showed a lot of determination and great power out of it. Wait, was Rusev the face in this match?
Maybe that's the joke.
Like, they never turned Jack Swagger heel at all, or they never turned him face at all. He's still the heel, Rusev's the face, the WWE just likes Russia. Because the more I think on it, like, Jack Swagger pounded into Rusev the whole match. He got a bunch of submissions holds off on him. Rusev didn't really get much offense, and then there was a miraculous save. Rusev was the face in this match.
Traditionally speaking, and I think that's why these two matches, well, and the one before it, the tag match, even though the finish does not speak of good booking. And it might be. If they move on from here, I rescind what I said, so long as the Wyatts can go do something that they can succeed at. Because look at all that heat they have. Why are you just throwing it away?
Why do you just keep... Are you trying to give their heat to someone you like better? Is that what it is?
That's the thing, though. The Usos aren't going to take that heat. That heat's not the kind of heat you can take unless you're The Rock. You have to be exactly as charismatic or more than the guy you're taking the heat from.
And they're not. The Usos are talented.
I love their dance.
It's great, memorable thing.
Yeah, but they're not... They haven't got the whole world in their hands, and they won't.
They're not that gimmick. They're not those guys.
But it was a good match, and the Wyatts themselves are in terms of the fact that they have a fan following that likes them, faces.
And they wrestled, like, there was some really, like, save the match moments.
Yeah.
It was a fight, the tag team match was. It was a great match. And this is, again, this pay-per-view, great matches, for the most part. Shitty finishes. These two matches in the mid-card, just fine.
But it's telling that these 3 matches, the better matches that we thought of anyway, aren't following that really, really basic wrestling logic of who is the good guy, who is the bad guy.
And how they act.
Yeah, and how they act. The main event has some issues with this as well, but this has been a long-standing problem, and I'll talk about it when we get there. I have no problem with the finish of this match. I think it was good booking. I think it preserves the feud for at least another pay-per-view cycle.
To a better pay-per-view,
SummerSlam. And, yeah, that was my biggest thing. I didn't want them to give away Rusev's undefeated streak on Battleground. A pay-per-view which, by all rights, people will probably not see in the next 3 years.
You don't know, man. They might have decided to cleave to this one. This might be the new, Backlash. Backlash was the thing for like 6 straight years.
Yeah. Backlash is a better name.
Yeah, Backlash is a better name if it's right after WrestleMania, but...
Our next quote-unquote match.
Alright, this one requires a little explanation. Earlier in the match, right before the AJ Lee versus Paige match, that's originally where the Seth Rollins-Dean Ambrose singles match was scheduled. As Seth Rollins was delivering his pre-match promo and smarming as much as he could possibly smarm, Dean Ambrose did his thing and attacked him, did the beat-em-ups, and then Triple H kicked him out of the arena. Like, said, no, forget it, this is a big night, you're not ruining it, fuck off, essentially. And, so this match comes around later in the card. They bump it down the card a couple of spaces to give time to set up for what happens, I assume. Seth Rollins comes out and declares that he wins by forfeit because Dean Ambrose got himself kicked out of the building. They do the thing where he makes them announce him as the winner and raise his hand and all that. You want to cover what happens next?
Well, Dean Ambrose showed up and beat him up.
And then beat him up and beat him up and beat him up. Then the security came out, and then Seth Rollins attacked him, and the security separated him. Seth Rollins attacked him again, and they kept fighting until security picked up.
A decent brawl.
Yeah, picked up Dean Ambrose and took him out of the arena.
A little later in the night, you see Seth Rollins go out to his car, and then tell security that he's pretty sure Dean Ambrose has evaporated or something.
I don't need security. It makes him feel it doesn't make him feel all manly, so he just decides that he doesn't need security.
And Dean Ambrose pops out of the trunk of Seth Rollins' car and beats him up.
Beats him up some more, and Seth Rollins eventually gets into the car and drives away.
That's not bad. I mean, this wasn't a match.
No, it was just a storyline set of brawls throughout the night.
That's fine. It's not time for the storyline to be over yet.
It's not time for the storyline to be over yet, but it will be soon.
Sooner than later, and
I would
again, I will
not
touch
push
on this
this
more
past SummerSlam. I would give them a singles match before.
I'd like to see them part ways and start doing their own thing.
Yeah, SummerSlam is the latest I want to see this gimmick go on. It's been about long enough.
Which it's WWE, so I imagine we'll be seeing it until November.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah. The next actual match was Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho.
Great match.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Good storytelling. Bray Wyatt held his own even once the Mooks got ejected.
Lots of great selling on both men's parts. I'm a little worn out on Bray Wyatt, not in terms of what Bray Wyatt does, but it's hard to get excited about Bray Wyatt when he's Dolph Ziggler. Like, full disclosure, I fucking love Dolph Ziggler, and if I thought he had a chance in hell of ever winning a match ever, I might actually root for him.
But it's hard to root for someone you know is going to lose. And we both called this match going into it. We knew that Jericho was going to win.
You held out hope.
I did.
You said that Jericho wouldn't come back and just,
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he is going to come back and just shut down Bray Wyatt.
No.
Here's my hope. Now, this is hope. I assume WWE is going to fuck this up. Or somebody's going to get injured and it'll fuck itself up. But here's what I'm hoping. This is a good match, again. I feel the need to say it, because it really, really was. He was not as fond of it as I was. I thought the storytelling was great. I thought Chris Jericho was on point.
I just wasn't into it.
And Chris Jericho can still go, and he's getting up there. He's in his 40s. So it's kind of impressive that he can still go full speed like that. Bray Wyatt did his Bray Wyatt thing, which I always love. And
Jericho's not moving at full speed.
He's moving at full speed. The full speed he's had since he moved to strong style wrestling, the big suit gimmick.
Oh well, yeah. Since he became a super heel.
Yeah.
Since he became stop having fun guy.
He changed the entire way he wrestles. If you notice.
Yeah, you're right. He's. But I'm sure he did that because he's getting older.
Yeah, he knows
He's not the Lionheart anymore.
He can't move at luchador speed anymore. Yeah. He moves at strong style wrestling speed.
Could someone call Jeff Hardy and let him know that that's what you're supposed to do?
Jeff Hardy's too high to answer any calls right now. I'm sorry.
I kind of want to see him float away on that umbrella, just like up in the air. Just like fucking Mary Poppins.
And then you never see him again.
Just like he leaps off the whatever the fuck he's leaping off of. It's just like, bye y'all.
My work is done here. My people need me. And they poochie him, and you never see him again.
Single tear from Matt Hardy as he waves goodbye. We don't watch TNA.
No. The most I know about Jeff Hardy's current gimmick is he wears face paint and has an umbrella for some stupid reason.
His name is...
Oh, don't tell me. I don't care.
His name is Will-O-Wisp.
He
uses the umbrella when he jumps off of stuff.
Now I have to punch you in the face.
That's fair. You clapped your fist into your hand.
Yes, I did. Well, am I actually going to punch you in the face for telling me something I didn't want to know?
Also, since when do face punches sound like?
I don't know.
It's more like a thunk.
Well, I could have actually punched you in the face.
Well, that would have been a dick move, because I probably would have headbutted the cat living on my shoulder.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair to the cat.
Jericho won. Jericho didn't need to win.
No, he didn't. But here's my hope. I hope that this pay-per-view goes 1, maybe 2 more pay-per-view cycles. Either Jericho needs to eat a loss to Bray Wyatt next pay-per-view, and then be done, or he needs to eat back-to-back losses for the next 2 pay-per-views.
They're not going to do that, though.
Shut up. I know that, but I can hope.
This is WWE's destroyed faith. I might be sitting in your same position if I have not watched them do what they're doing for the past few months.
Like, this is the John Cena Bray Wyatt gimmick again. I'm sure if they go to the next pay-per-view, Bray Wyatt will pull out a victory. It'll be a heel victory. It won't be clean, but he'll pull out a victory. Then they'll do the rubber match at the 3rd pay-per-view, and Jericho will win.
And if it's John Cena style, Jericho will win because he's developed his own cult of backwards sheep worshippers, and they're better than Bray Wyatt's cult of backwards sheep worshippers.
John Cena just won because he put a giant box on Bray Wyatt.
John Cena won because he was smarter than Bray Wyatt. That's how the announcers sold it.
You're right. God damn.
Bray Wyatt, I'm stronger, I'm faster, more people like my cereal, and I'm smarter. And I have the titles, and I make more money. Pretty sure my dick's bigger.
Look,
Less fat.
I'm not in the greatest place with John Cena right now. Normally I would come back with something here, but...
I tell you what, though, my friends don't have as nice of asses as yours.
And then Rowan rubs his luscious lump that you keep talking about. Seriously, keeps fucking talking
Okay,
about.
look, for months, since fucking Eric Rowan showed up, I'm like, that guy has got ass for days. Like, you know that song that goes, ass, 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 ass? And then I was browsing Tumblr, and I saw this artist, whose name I can't recall, I'm sorry. I'll post a link to the picture. Posted this drawing of Eric Rowan's juicy booty, and I'm like, oh my god, somebody else saw it too! I feel vindicated.
And he hasn't stopped talking about the fucking thing since. Every time Rowan's on screen, he's like, look at that ass. Oh.
It's like 2 giant peaches kissing. In a hacky sack.
Oh, but again, good match, shitty finish. I'm really hoping they go somewhere with this, but in the end, I don't think they will. I hope they will.
At least it's Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be too mad.
I can. Jericho doesn't need a push.
No, but
not as much as Bray
Jericho.
Wyatt desperately needs one.
Well, not as much as Bray Wyatt deserves one. His heat's not going anywhere for now.
He can't take too many more big losses.
You give him too many more pay-per-view losses and he's just going to be a joke. This is the whole Worf and Wolverine thing. I believe I talked about last fucking podcast that we talked about a pay-per-view.
Yeah, about Bray Wyatt specifically.
Which was all of 3 weeks ago. What the fuck is with this build-up?
It was shorter because they want to give him more time for SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, okay. Maybe they'll make a better story out of it.
Yeah, no. Oh, by the way, again, if for some reason Vince, Paul, if either of you are at Ultimate Dragon's house listening in to the Two Nerds podcast, if fucking Super Cena is still the champion when it comes renewal time, I'm not renewing the network. I'm not going to continue to give you guys money to give me something that disappoints me to this extent.
We're going to finish watching Legends House first, though, right?
Of course.
Okay.
But that's, like, I will make a point to finish watching Legends House before my subscription is up. And then if Super Cena is still the champion I think it's Night of Champions, our 6 months is going to be up. Yeah. I'm fucking done, dude. I'm done. Unless
they've got, like, Cena in this match where Cena can't possibly win.
But he'll win anyway.
Like, it's a Queen's... Yeah, it's true. He sucks.
He will win anyway. He's John Cena, especially if it's a match he can't possibly win. That's a guaranteed win for
Cena. You know what? It should be a match that Cena, in all likelihood, should win.
And then someone else wins it.
Against a dumb jobber Cena likes.
Zack Ryder. I don't even care. I don't give a shit.
Zack Ryder as the bunny.
Yeah. Strike the titles on the bunny. I'm fucking done with Cena, okay? I like John Cena when he doesn't have the title. When he's the champ, he becomes this smarmy, unbeatable, boring fucking douchebag, and I can't stand it anymore. Anyway.
The next match is a Battle Royal, because it's a pay-per-view. We need a Battle Royal. Also, it's Monday Night Raw. We should have a Battle Royal. It's Friday Night SmackDown. Let's have a Battle Royal.
I've made this joke a couple times in private conversation. This is mid-2000s SmackDown. The fucking straight-up tag team match. This is... Hey, shout out to Super Wizard. But...
It's NXT. Let's have a Battle Royal.
It's
a house show. Let's have a Battle Royal.
Like, stop.
It's a staff meeting. Let's have a Battle Royal.
Actually, that might be interesting.
Only if Freddie Prinze Jr. comes back.
Yeah. Does the Iron Bull set the entire Battle Royal. Here's the thing, like, Battle Royal stop being special if you have one every fucking pay-per-view. Hey, next time someone gets injured and vacates the title, how about you do a tournament? Or you just fucking throw two dudes in a match. Or, I don't know, fucking throw the title up in the air and whoever catches it first gets to be the champion. I don't care.
Well, I kind of like that one. And they have to be on a trampoline. Just to, lengthen it a bit.
Yeah. But, like, I don't care, alright? I don't care. I like Battle Royals. I do. They stop being special if you have one every 2 weeks.
To give some context for this, and also where my smarm comes from, I have run an eFed for over a decade. I'm on a semi-permanent hiatus now. Someone else has taken the reins. But, and it's a hardcore eFed. All matches, unless noted otherwise, weapons legal. Very relaxed rules. When every match is hardcore matches stop being special. So you need to figure out something bigger than a hardcore match to sell your blood feuds. This is just booking. This is through a decade of experience. And yes, eFeds are booked different than professional wrestling shows because there is that element of, instead of it being we're trying to put on the best possible program, it's everybody should get a turn at some point if they don't suck.
And
just to be fair to all your friends, because that's what you're doing. You're sitting there playing to have fun with friends. But that galvanizes my point even more, because you're supposed to be trying to put on the best possible fucking program, and you're not.
No, you're not. You're really not.
I shouldn't be able to book circles around the most prolific wrestling federation in fucking history.
I've never booked a single thing, and I can book circles around this bullshit, okay? This is just you having a functioning cerebral cortex.
Well, and understanding the ins and outs of the game,
I suppose, yeah. But it's just, dude, this is fucking amateur hour shit you're doing. Come on! You're the WWE! You're responsible for the best swerves ever! How are you? You're responsible for the best gimmicks. You're responsible for so much cool shit. What the fuck are you doing? There's a reason you're venting fucking investors, okay?
The network was a big risk, but you're supposed to follow a big risk up with something that makes people take the risk. And you're not.
You took a big risk, and now you're playing it as safe as physically possible, and you have been since WrestleMania. That doesn't sell pay-per-views.
Did you not read Eric Bischoff's book? Did you not even read the title?
You not make no controversy, you don't get no cash.
Everything has been so predictable. Case in point, this fucking Battle Royal. Oh man, The Miz went out under the bottom rope.
Miz wins.
Yeah, both of us, same time. Miz wins. Then he did.
This was maybe 5 minutes into the pay-per-view. Miz shoots out the bottom rope after getting hit with something. And he goes out and he hits and he doesn't get immediately back up. Both of us at the same time went, Miz wins.
Fuck's sake, I think last Battle Royal they had, I said this exact same thing. Their Battle Royals are so fucking song and dance, it's tired. It's not even, it is, but it doesn't have to be that you're having a Battle Royal every 4 weeks. Usually more.
Usually several Battle Royals.
Yeah, within that period. But you're not doing anything different. First thing everybody does is gang up on the big guy. The big guy manages to get out of it and gets knocked out later when a couple of guys knock him out. And Kofi Kingston Hey, Kofi, how's the white chocolate peanut butter, buddy? Kofi Kingston, he gets knocked out of the ring, but he makes us save.
Proceeds to be the most entertaining thing in the fucking match, and then gets eliminated like really unceremoniously 3 seconds later.
Yeah, and a
By
bunch
the way,
of guys.
Fucking stop robbing Kofi Kingston. He needs to win one of those battle royals. I mean, you know what? I'm tired of battle royals. If you do one more just so Kofi Kingston wins, no reason, just a battle royal.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Battle Royal, Kofi Kingston wins. Well, tonight, if as you're listening to this.
So yeah, Battle Royal, Kofi Kingston wins. Yes, please do that. I will be happy to suffer through another Battle Royal if the person who should have won the last fucking 4 of the things, excepting the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania, that one was legitimately Cesaro's to win. Kofi Kingston deserves to win a fucking Battle Royal. He's usually the most entertaining thing in the match.
Kofi Kingston deserves way more than he's got.
Seriously. A lot more. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean...
So much of their talent, there's more than they're getting, that it's depressing to talk about.
This is why I'm not so excited about Chris Jericho being back. Because instead of that void being filled by someone who could use the push, someone who they could take a chance on, it's filled by another old wrestler coming back for a run. And it's Chris Jericho, so I'm not mad, but I'm not thrilled either.
Seriously, you have such good talent in the undercard, and all of them deserve a lot more than they're getting right now.
Like, if it was like untested guys, if we were just talking about some of my weird pet favorites, or even guys that are so new blood, you know, that, yeah, they're exciting, but they're probably not great, like Xavier Woods and, you know, shit like that. Adam Rose. I love Adam Rose, no, he doesn't need to be that high.
He's not nearly tested enough.
He needs to be built up a bit more. But, good guy, we've had Dolph Ziggler for like 90 years. Maybe get him on a winning streak. I know it's a novel idea.
Dolph Ziggler winning more than one match?
In a row.
Well, you speak madness, sir.
Well, I do worship Cthulhu.
I mean, for serious, you guys. This is...
I'm not even talking about that shit. I mean, that's usually me. I'm usually like, what the fuck? Why isn't Gene Snitsky the champion? But I'm not even going there. Look, okay, let's be real. I understand this is a multi-million-dollar corporation and it has its assets, and star power is an asset. That Battle Royal, 18 people came out, and then Dolph Ziggler did, and he had the biggest pop. This dude has been on a titanic losing streak, which is the only thing that gives me hope for Bray Wyatt's continued career, and people still fucking love him.
Despite the fact that he hasn't won 2 matches in a row in a year plus, at least. Because everyone watches his matches and realizes he's the most entertaining fucking thing on the show. On your average Raw, he puts on...
pants tonight.
Well, yeah, but on your average Raw, he puts on the best match. On your average Raw, he's trying harder than fucking anybody. He's certainly trying harder than John. And I'm gonna get to that.
But yeah, Dolph does this Titanic thing, manages to eliminate Sheamus. Miz out of nowhere unceremoniously dumps him over the rope. Miz wins. Miz champion. Dolph Ziggler calls his agent and says, get me in some sort of ramen noodles deal because my hair is going to get me more places in this fucking wrestling contract.
It's just... I'm not even... I like Mike, the Miz.
Yeah, I ain't hating. He's good. And I like his new gimmick, but too soon.
Too soon. Too fucking soon.
Too many guys too soon.
Have come back and immediately been given, you know, the world on a plate.
It's just like, God, you save that for special events. Sheamus's sudden rise to stardom it's a great example. It's an isolated incident. This guy comes out of nowhere and fucking is amazing, okay? We've had too much of it lately. All you guys are seeing is things that worked, and you keep doing them again and again and again. And while the definition of madness is to repeat an action and expect different results, you can only repeat it so many times until nobody cares anymore. That was the crux of WWF Attitude, the video game. And it still is the crux of the current WWE 2K games. If you do a certain move so many times in a row, the crowd starts booing.
Because they're tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. How is Ukes getting this and you're not? We should not, repeat, should not have to be explaining this to the WWE. My fucking God.
So our main event,
yeah,
which was an okay match.
Solid B.
Nothing, yeah. Solid B.
B. Not a B+.
I mean, it wasn't anything amazing.
Not
It was
a B-.
okay.
No.
But
there was a lot of back and forth.
It was exciting.
There was a fun little mini story with Kane and Randy Orton working together, and then they have a disagreement and they fight. There was a couple big standoffs between John Cena and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns again fights John Cena and beats him and has him dead to rights clean, and someone interrupts the thing, and Roman Reigns doesn't get to win. They've done that 2 pay-per-views in a row, by the way. He has had John Cena dead to rights, and someone has interrupted him. But this is, and then fucking, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to the end. Cena wins, lol.
John wins.
Forever. And he won the exact same way he won the Money in the Bank match. The exact same way. Randy Orton and Kane and fucking Roman Reigns were in the ring. They were fighting. Roman Reigns goes down. John Cena comes in. AA, lol, I win. From napping outside the ring. Literally the exact same finish. The only difference is that Roman Reigns got to spear Kane instead of Kane getting to eat an attitude adjustment too.
No, there was a second difference.
What's that?
John Cena didn't give a fuck about this match.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was not trying and sandbagging so hard that I thought he was going to lose and was just throwing a fit. Like he usually does.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the finish. Same finish.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
The match, honestly, Randy Orton was trying. Randy Orton was putting on a good match. Kane was putting on a good match. Roman Reigns was putting on a good match. John Cena was fucking sandbagging. Literally sandbagging. Fuck you. Okay, John Boy?
There was a spot early in the show, the tag team match, actually. Uso number 2, super kicks, I can never remember, Luke Harper. Super kicks Luke Harper in the face while he's roaring up for his discus. Harper turns around, rubs his face a little bit, and then turns around and hits the discus anyway. I mean, complete no-sell, aside from a minor face rub. Like, bitch, you just kicked me. And it was great.
Because it was sold.
Yeah.
And it was intentional. You could tell that was the spot.
And it was showing off Luke as this juggernaut. Whereas sandbagging, for those people who aren't into the terminology, is when you're just being dead weight. As though fighting a sandbag.
You're not helping with moves. You're not selling moves you get hit with. You're not no-selling them, because that's the difference. If you no-sell them, like The Undertaker or somebody...
Or Goldberg.
Yeah, you get hit and you like, no. You shake your head and grin or growl at them or whatever. You obviously make it obvious that you were not damaged by this. Fuck you. That's a different thing. You're just not selling. You're just getting hit with it like a sandbag and not reacting.
Well, and even, I mean, usually sandbagging is also like being intentionally heavy, like a 6-year-old child who doesn't want to be picked up.
And John did that in this match.
Yeah, no, he did. Go back and watch any title match he loses. John Cena sandbags.
Except for that one match against, it wasn't a title match, but that match against The Rock that he lost, the first WrestleMania he lost, he did not sandbag once. Because if you sandbag in the ring with The Rock starts fucking beating your ass for real.
Well, there's a lot of guys that do that. But
yeah.
Most of them don't work anymore. And that's John Cena. I expected as much from him. To the point that I thought he was going to lose.
Yeah, once he started sandbagging, hope was brought anew in this house that he might be losing, because John Cena, as much as he can be a very nice guy in his personal life and brings hope to dying children and what have you, when he's scheduled to lose, he kind of throws a bitch fit. He's just... And he was... Like the whole match he was doing this bullshit. He
didn't even finish his power bomb.
No, he just started at half of it. When Roman Reigns hit him with the spear, he went down, but he didn't sell. He just
laid there.
He just sort of fell over. Like he got shoved over. Like how much a running tackle, like less than a running tackle would really hurt.
Well, and speaking of running tackles, it was that running shoulder block that was really the biggest sandbag he did.
It's not a shoulder block.
Or the clothesline.
Running flying clothesline. It's a stop clothesline too. Roman Reigns doesn't follow through. He hits you and you go down. It shows how impactful he is. He doesn't need to follow through to make you hit the dirt.
But because Cena just kind of went oopie doop, I fell over. It looked fake.
It looked really fake, and it was really obviously poorly done, and it wasn't Roman Reigns who was at fault.
No, because all Roman did his job. John Cena just had to fall down.
Yeah, John Cena just had to fall down with some impact. He had to throw himself backwards, like
And he
any
does
wrestler
this.
can do.
Yeah, he knows how to do this. Watch matches where he's winning the title.
He will sell you to the nines. He'll make you look like the best wrestler in the universe before he accesses his Kryptonian heritage and beats you anyway. But this match, he was throwing a fit the whole match, and he won. Which makes it worse. If he was throwing a fit and he was losing, fine. He's not a graceful loser. Not everyone can be. Kind of a shitty trait for being John Cena. I mean, you're not exactly hurting for wins, but...
Yeah, and this is why I retain my bitterness about John Cena, even when he's being super cool. Because I know this beast lurks beneath.
And maybe it's like the one diva thing he has. Maybe he
And whatever, I don't care the why. I couldn't give a fuck. I just care about the product. And you're affecting the product.
It's just, and it was so obvious and so douchey, and he was winning. He won clean.
My cat's snoring, and it's really cute. Sweet. There you go.
This is I like John Cena. I have to remind myself of that when he's not near the title. He's really entertaining. He's funny. He puts on decent matches because if you notice when he's not the champion, he tries harder. When he
loses.
Yeah, even when he loses, he takes it with good grace. He can put over some motherfuckers when he's losing, when he's not the champion. Something about being near those fucking belts, or that belt when it was won, makes him the biggest baby. And just the smarmiest dick. Because even before he started sandbagging, I went into this pay-per-view assuming he was going to win. I go into every pay-per-view assuming he's going to win. He confirmed it. He did the thing that John Cena does when he's about to win the match, and he wants to be a dick about it. During his entrance, he looked dead into the camera and winked.
Which he did last time.
Yeah.
The smug way he walked down the aisle, I knew he was winning the Money in the Bank.
It's just, he gets so smug. The title brings out an ugly side of that man's personality. Which is complete ridiculousness, because, alright, John, I don't know if I even told you, wrestling's fucking fake, yo. You being the champion doesn't mean you're better than anybody. It just means you sell more t-shirts.
John Cena has this thing where he gets to be a heel and is immune to the side effects of it with the announce team. They don't even do what they used to do for people like Stone Cold. Or that one gimmick where Rey Mysterio was getting mad at, what was it, Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Where, I think Rey had a knee brace and was, using it as a weapon in the match.
Which is just super illegal.
I mean, I guess Cody might have used his mask first, but A, there's a marked difference between a semi-hard plastic mask and a fucking knee brace. And B, you're the face. Cody Rhodes is the Phantom of the Opera. How are you coming out as the dick in this?
And he was, and John Cena, and you're right, the announce team usually will
They'll say well, I think Cody Rhodes is right, and he's right about this. He shouldn't be using that knee brace. That's bullshit. And then Michael Cole would say something like, well, he needs it for his health. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's...
Or he'll say, well, Cody Rhodes started it. That makes it better.
Well, then it doesn't, but at least the announcers acknowledge it. It doesn't matter what Cena does. Cena could fucking thumb to the eye someone, and they would talk about what a great move it was and how smart it was of John Cena.
How canny it was. He's literally cheated in matches. He duct taped Batista's feet to the ring post during a last man standing match, and all you ever heard from the announce team was, oh, canny move by Cena, whereas if anyone else, even another face, had done that, that would have been a heel turn.
Or at least a point of contention. He will go to any lengths. He will, dig deep and move low. This is what the WWE Championship means. You pull out all the stops. No, with John Cena, it's not like that. And it's become so fucking commonplace now that John Cena did the classic heel move. Roman Reigns hits some semblance of a finisher on Kane. I don't remember which one, because they beat up Kane for a while.
It was a spear, and then he gets the pin. 1, 2, Randy Orton flies in from out of nowhere and breaks it up. Randy Orton hits him with the RKO. Cena slides in at that point, hits Randy Orton with the attitude adjustment onto Kane, pins Kane. Lol, I win.
Well, no, it was even before the match. Or not before the match, excuse me, earlier in the match. Where it was just Roman Reigns, Kane, and John Cena. Roman Reigns hit some kind of finisher on Kane, pinned Kane, 1, 2. Cena comes in out of nowhere. Out of wherever Cena was laying. It's a big fucking shaved gorilla that he is. Knocks Reigns off, doesn't do shit, and just rolls Kane's leg up for the pin. That's heel. Face picks him up, does his own finisher. Period.
That's a Rudo move.
Yeah.
That's heel. That's a heel move.
I mean, it's like kicking someone in the dick. You might as well just punch him in the penis.
Because, I mean, look, alright, full disclosure, Ric Flair can do that and be a face, because he's Ric
Flair. Because that's Ric Flair. And this isn't a that's John Cena thing. It's not what he's famous for. He did it back when he was Thugonomics. Back when he was a rapper. But that was his gimmick then.
He was a heel.
His gimmick was, I'm a heel, but you guys love me. He was Bray Wyatt.
But the early 2000s.
And he hasn't done it since. He went fucking Soldier Boy, and he's good. Except increasingly over the past, I want to say year. Maybe it's been a little longer, maybe it's been a little less. But increasingly, John Cena can be the biggest pile of dicks, pull out the worst stops, and no one even mentions it. No one throws shade at Cena.
Ever. And you know what? To their credit, they also didn't mention it when Roman Reigns did the exact same thing later in the match.
Well, yeah, but at that point, Cena had started it.
Yeah, that's turnabout.
So yeah, that's turnabout. That's fine. And I mean, you can come in here and say, well, you know, Cena's more of a neutral character because people love him and people hate him, and so they needed to do stuff like that. But fucking bullshit. He doesn't act like a neutral character otherwise. He is King fucking Goody Two-Shoes. He is, I am always right because I am good and good always wins because there are no fucking shades of gray.
And you hate me because obviously there are, and I'm boring. That's why people hate him. He's not a neutral character. He's a face people are tired of. You don't get to sell him like a neutral character unless you start actually fucking selling him like a neutral character.
The announcers are so intrinsic to that shit. For the home viewer. I mean, obviously if you're live, it's a different situation, but
they don't listen to the live audience's reaction of Cena anyway, so who cares? As JR once said, the wrestlers make the music. The announcers write the lyrics. That's important. You need to understand that. The wrestlers wrestle the match. It's the announcers who tell the story.
Or at least point out when the wrestlers are telling a story. Like, you can watch Japanese matches, not speak a word of Japanese, or on fucking mute for that matter, and still understand what's going on. But unless you're super fucking into wrestling or, you know, super into being, you know, I knew about it before it was cool. Oh, you listen to mainstream wrestling? I watch only indie stuff. Unless you're that kind of person, unless you're my dream gimmick for Rusev after this whole Unstoppable thing peters out.
Oh, yeah, no, we're going to cover that.
Alright. I have to be brief about it because we're almost done and there's something else I want to touch on. But yeah, unless that's the case, you're always going to remember more strongly, right hands, by God, Stone Cold, he's dead, they've killed him, by God. Or any other, you know, Joey Styles, oh my God, catfight moment. I mean, that's what sells everything. Is Triple H the cerebral assassin because he's got really good ring technical skill and he's a great ring general?
And he can work an audience like a goddamned accordion?
But would fucking 12-year-old you have known that if JR hadn't told you?
No, not a goddamn chance in the world. You wouldn't have come up with that shit. That's a really cool nickname.
Like this whole bullshit about Seth Rollins being the architect of the Shield.
That's all Michael Cole.
That's just announcers.
That is Michael Cole. Michael Cole is responsible for Seth Rollins' current gimmick. Because Michael Cole just throws anything at the fucking wall and sees what sticks.
Yeah, I love that about him. He's not afraid to experiment. Gosh, I wish Michael Cole was booking the WWE.
He's willing to he's willing to sound as stupid as possible for that one chance he's gonna get that, he's willing to say Jamaican me crazy a million times to get the Uso crazy thing over later.
But that's point A about this. Point B is something that I've been noticing about the booking a lot in general. Do you remember when WWE could throw a swerve and it fucking mattered? Do you remember when the villains in WWE felt like an actual threat? Yeah. This is the biggest problem with the Authority angle. They're all balls and no dick, to borrow a phrase.
You're not wrong.
They meddle in things, but they're so easily thwarted, they're so incompetent, that it's not interesting. I keep wanting a finger poke of doom to happen. Like, tonight would have been the perfect time. You have Randy Orton and Kane right there. Fuck the last time you had Randy Orton and Kane right there. Finger poke of fucking doom. It creates instant heel heat. Wildfire heel heat. It draws attention from outside. It calls back to classic WWE moments that you can see on the network by the app today.
I mean, you're right. I was actually thinking the same thing during the match. I was like, all right, Randy Orton, John Cena and Roman Reigns are both outside the ring. It's just Kane and Randy Orton. They're looking around. Now's the perfect time for Kane to just lay down and let Randy Orton be like, wave him over, be like, come on, pin me, bitch. Let's go. Let's get you the title. Perfect moment. It was pitch perfect, and they didn't do it. Why the fuck didn't you do it?
This is why the Authority comes off as not a threat. Because they can't get their shit together enough to be cohesive enough for this stuff to happen. And they're supposed to be the big bad. There isn't a bigger bad. Unless Vince McMahon shows up and starts creating incest storylines out of everything.
Let's not mention that, Joe.
Katie Vick, there's not anything bigger than what the Authority is in terms of a heel.
The bad guy is currently Triple H.
Who I just got done talking about was a fucking ring general. Why? How? Why? He managed to keep X-Pac in line for years.
He's, like, in storyline, when he wasn't the big bad, he pulled one over on the McMahon family again and again and again. He did it several times. He's known for being wit and guile and always having a plan. And they're selling this Plan B bullshit, except for the fact that Dean Ambrose, a psychopath in storyline, has been able to utterly thwart this magnificent Plan B.
This is their thing in general. Everybody's Wolverine. Except John Cena, who is still Superman.
It's like an entire world full of Wolverines and Dwarves fighting Kal-El of Krypton.
Well, and Kal-El stands around as their king, I think is more...
Yeah.
And then over off in some side comic, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are hanging out and being besties.
Were you talking specifically about the Dust Brothers?
Yes, I was. You've done this shit before. Xbox mute.
Sorry.
What did I say that sounded like that command which would make my gaming device be loud again? You've done this shit before. Vince is the higher power. The entire dramatic build-up, you're looking at the wrong fucking part of the 90s. Shit.
And even when you're looking at the right fucking part of the 90s, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're like, all right, let's do all this stuff here. Take some of this. Like this here. And then let's all faff about in the ring for like an hour. Hey, does that sound good? Steph, does that sound good? Sounds great, Hunter. All right, sounds good. Okay.
And then they do.
And we go, bleh. I mean, even Daniel Bryan's build-up. Look, the only reason that guy was as big as he was is because he became a cult of personality. Because the yes chant is easy to say, largely. But the Authority had no authority over him.
Yeah,
They were Nancy's. Vince McMahon
They were Nancy's despite the fact that they beat him to a bloody pulp on several occasions. They still didn't come off as a threat.
Yeah, it wasn't that Daniel Bryan never gave up. It's that Daniel Bryan was very patient and knew the authority was kind of shitty in general.
And eventually, he would get through. It's like, no, these guys are incompetent. I just need to really wait them out. They'll fuck up. And they did.
And yeah, that's exactly what happened. They're not effective heels. You don't have... Rusev is your most effective heel.
And you are currently gearing him up for his big loss. You don't have any effective heels. Name me one effective heel besides Rusev in the WWE right now. One. Any one.
In terms of actually being a menace?
Yeah, in terms of actually being any sort of credible threat.
I mean, the fact that I'm quiet speaks volumes.
Because
Rusev, if they weren't gearing him up for a loss, I think is perfectly fine.
Yeah, but like, who are the other heels? I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to name me more than a couple, and they're
the
all...
Wyatt clan, but they're so over, they're not really heels.
And then there's Kane and Randy Orton, who aren't effective.
But they're part of the authority, so...
And they're just not effective.
Rollins, again, part of the authority and not effective. I mean, Ryback are a good heel group, but they're not over enough, period.
They're not big heel. They
don't do heelish things. They're kind of dicks.
Yeah, they're kind of assholes. They're smarmy. Ryback gives people shit for doing the chant. That's about it.
Yeah, you try harder.
Look, I understand that in wrestling, in the end, a majority of the time, 7, maybe 8 times out of 10, the good guy should win. There still should be those other 2 times.
You need to build up your bad guys so that your good guy has someone to fight.
So that them winning means something.
That's why you do the Wolverine thing. You get the big bad to show up and fuck up the guy who's good at fighting so that everybody's scared of the big bad. But you're getting the big bad to show up and fuck up the guy who's good at fighting and then get fucked up by somebody else who's not as good at fighting as the big bad.
Or you're just, like, having the big bad then do the thing where he beats up the guy who's good at fighting and then faffs about for 6 years before the guy who's good at fighting is ready to go beat him up anyway.
It's just...
You fucking... This is really, really bad. Like, this is good wrestling that's terribly booked. When the fuck did we start watching TNA?
TNA is... Vince Russo looks at the book and makes that face from the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
You know what, real quick, I really want to go over Indy Rusev.
Yeah, no, I want to end this podcast on a good note. We're a little over as usual, but Indy Rusev is where I want to see Rusev's gimmick go after he's done being the Russian Goliath. Because that's what WWE does. You are whatever gimmick you came in, you're a big giant monstrosity, and then after you're that for a while, you got to be a big silly. They did it with Mark Henry turning into sexual chocolate. They did it with what funky guy? What's his name?
Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay.
Big Day Brodus Clay.
Yeah, he used to be Alberto Del Rio's muscle, and he had that weird little mohawk, and then they brought him back. It was super funky. They did it with the Great Khali. This is something they do all the time. This is the natural progression. This is where Viscera. Yeah. This is where Rusev is going to go. Okay, I don't want them to give him the dancing goofball gimmick.
Yeah, the dancing with Santino Kozlov gimmick. No.
I want him to become Indy Rusev. I want him to start, like, wearing a newsboy cap and sunglasses and scarves and shit. Like, dress him like Benedict Cumberbatch, okay?
And then have him do nothing but, like, say he has a match with someone and they do a move and he beats them and he goes after the match, grabs the microphone and says, you know, that move was really cool 2 months ago when I saw it on NXT.
Yeah. Talk about other companies in not so many words.
About how they're better and how they're more innovative.
Because, that's going to get, local pride heat.
Yeah, because, fuck you, we're watching this. That means this is the good one.
Right.
We wouldn't watch the bad one.
That's such easy heat, and it's an innovative way to do it.
And it would make him the god of all smarks.
Yes.
He'd be the reverse John Cena.
He would be. He'd be Mega Cena. And I think it'd just be really hilarious and interesting, especially if after all these years of, Rusev Crush, he's just like, yeah, that move was cool when I saw it last week. You think you're interesting with your persona? Yeah, that was pretty nice.
In
back
the 80s.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Like, talk to Damien Sandow. Oh, yeah, this was interesting. Back when I saw Lenny Poffo do it in the 70s.
Yeah, or are you ripping off Stevie Richards? No, wait, The Big Show.
Just again and again and again. Have him be the Mega Cena. Have him be the wrestling smark. And then have him fight John Cena.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate.
And then have him win. But that part's not going to happen.
This was actually all part of my master plan how to make John Cena heel turn, which is never going to happen. But I don't even remember most of it. I could probably come up with something.
Having him lose to Hipster Rusev was part of it.
Yeah, because Hipster Rusev would be so anti-Cena that Cena would be forced to say, essentially, nah, fuck y'all.
Yeah, it would be like...
You cheer for this guy?
And they do, because they would. He'll say things like, you'd be a lot more interesting if you did more than 5 moves.
Oh, man, yeah, just call it out.
You're an athletic guy. Remind me again, why is it that you can't wrestle?
Weren't you beaten by Rob Van Dam? In a bingo hall?
Oh!
Oh, man. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for right now. We're way over time.
And you know what? I'm gonna stick with it this time. It doesn't feel like it's better, but I hope that you agree, listener. Everything, even this fucking bullshit pay-per-view, is better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's get hardcore! Blood, pain, roll.